Your legs carry you through every step of the day, up the stairs, to the store, even just across the living room. But what if the pain you feel in your legs isn't just age catching up with you? What if it's something sitting right on your dinner plate? Here's a surprising truth. More than 40% of adults over 60 report chronic leg discomfort, and hidden foods are often to blame. They inflame blood vessels, stiffen muscles, and quietly make everyday aches worse. The good news? These foods can be swapped for safer choices. Simple changes that calm inflammation instead of feeding it. And in this video, we'll count down the 3 hidden foods most likely to worsen senior leg pain and show you what to eat instead. Quick question. Do your legs ever feel heavier or more painful after a meal? Yes or no? Type your answer in the comments. Think about it. Does this sound familiar to you? So why does leg pain grow worse after certain meals, especially after 60? The answer isn't only getting older. It's hidden in the way food interacts with aging muscles and blood vessels. As we age, circulation naturally slows. Arteries stiffen and muscles lose some of their flexibility. Imagine your legs as old water pipes. When they're new, water flows smoothly. But with time, the pipes collect buildup, the flow weakens, and pressure increases. That's what happens in the body when poor circulation meets food triggers. Sugary treats, salty snacks, and fried foods all act like grit in those pipes. They inflame vessel walls, strain the heart, and make muscles ache. Instead of fueling recovery, they quietly feed inflammation. And inflammation is like a small fire in your legs. If you keep throwing fuel on it, the pain only burns hotter. Pause for a moment. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling heavier or more swollen after a salty dinner, or achy after indulging in dessert? Those aren't coincidences. They're signals that food is adding to problem. Here's the important part. While age makes legs more vulnerable, food choices decide whether pain stays mild or grows worse. This is the anticipation flag, because the wrong foods don't just cause temporary discomfort. Over time, they can signal bigger risks like circulation issues or nerve irritation. But here's the good news. If certain foods can silently make pain worse, smarter swaps can ease it. Before we reveal the 3 hidden foods that fuel leg pain, let's first look at the everyday mistakes many seniors unknowingly make at the table. Many seniors know their legs hurt more at night or after long days. But what they often don't realize is that food choices quietly make the pain worse. Let's look at 3 common mistakes that slip into the diet. Mistake 1 is swapping sugar for diet drinks. A can of soda marked 0 or light may sound healthier, but artificial sweeteners can still trigger blood vessel stress and may even raise inflammation over time. The legs don't get relief, they get more strain. Mistake 2 is relying on salt for flavor. Sprinkling extra salt on dinner or choosing canned soups and instant noodles makes food taste stronger but leaves the body holding on to water. That extra fluid pushes against veins in the legs, causing swelling and soreness by evening. Mistake 3 is choosing convenience over nutrition. Frozen fried meals, deli meats, and packaged snacks are quick, but are loaded with unhealthy fats that keep inflammation smoldering inside muscles and joints. The more often they appear on the plate, the more the legs quietly pay the price. Here's a quick self-check. After a salty dinner or a frozen meal, do your shoes ever feel tighter or your calves more sore than usual? If so, one of these habits may be working against you. And here's a mini quiz for you. Which do you think hurts senior legs more, sugar, salt, or fried fat? Type your guess in the comments. You may be surprised when we count down the 3 hidden foods that truly do the most damage, because mistakes can be fixed. And in just a moment, we'll start the countdown of the worst offenders, foods that make senior leg pain worse, and the safer swaps you can use instead. Number 3 on our list is sugary foods and drinks. When most people think about sugar, they picture cavities or weight gain. But for seniors dealing with leg pain, sugar is a hidden driver that quietly makes things worse. Every spoonful can fan the flames of inflammation that spread through muscles and blood vessels. Here's why. When you eat foods loaded with added sugar, cakes, cookies, sodas, your blood sugar spikes, and the body releases chemicals called cytokines. These are inflammation messengers. Instead of soothing your muscles, they make nerves more sensitive and blood vessels more irritated. That irritation shows up as stiffness, soreness, and pain. Science backs us up. In 2022, a clinical review confirmed that high sugar intake raised inflammation markers in older adults, directly linking sweet foods to muscle pain. And in 2023, a large study found that seniors who consumed the most added sugar had a 60% higher risk of peripheral artery disease, a condition that makes leg pain and cramps far more common. Think of sugar like grit in your bloodstream. Instead of flowing smoothly, your circulation gets rougher, irritating the vessel walls and stressing muscles. Pause for a moment. Have you ever noticed your legs aching more after a night of dessert or soda? That's not just coincidence. It's your body telling you sugar is stirring up trouble. If that sounds familiar, type sugar in the comments so we can see how many people share this experience. The swap is simple but powerful. Replace sugary desserts with fruit that naturally calms inflammation, berries, apples, or pears. These choices satisfy the sweet tooth without flooding your system. And here's a backup option: a square of dark chocolate. It gives you sweetness plus antioxidants that protect blood vessels rather than damage them. Let's bring this to life with two stories. Mary, 68, loved her evening pastries, but her leg pain worsened until she decided to swap them for a bowl of blueberries after dinner. Within weeks, she noticed the swelling in her ankles eased, and her pain at night became less intense. John, 71, went the other direction. He brushed off his doctor's warning, kept drinking soda daily, and his calf pain grew so bad he had to limit his walks. Eventually, he was diagnosed with circulation problems that could have been slowed with earlier changes. Here's the emotional truth. Sugar tastes sweet in the moment, but leaves behind a bitter gift, pain that lingers in your legs. So here's your action step. Aim to keep added sugar under 25 grams per day. That's about 6 teaspoons. Check food labels, cut down on sodas, and lean on fruit for natural sweetness. In simple terms, sugar stirs inflammation and inflammation stirs pain. Less sugar means calmer blood vessels, calmer muscles, and calmer legs. That's number 3. Now, let's move down to number 2, the salty and processed foods that quietly trap water, swell your legs, and add to the pain. Number 2 on our countdown is salty and processed foods. Salt may seem harmless. It's just a pinch here, a sprinkle there. But for aging legs, too much sodium works like a magnet pulling water into the tissues. The result? Swelling, stiffness, and pain that grow worse as the day goes on. Think of it this way. When sodium builds up, your veins and tissues are like balloons overfilled with water. The pressure pushes on muscles and nerves in your legs, leaving them sore and heavy. Science has confirmed this link. In 2021, the American Heart Association reported that seniors with higher sodium intake had significantly more problems with leg swelling and vascular stiffness. And a 2024 study found that more than 70% of daily sodium for older adults came from processed foods, canned soups, frozen dinners, deli meats, not from the salt shaker at home. Pause for a moment. Have you ever noticed your shoes fitting tighter by the evening, or your calves aching more after a salty meal? That's your body waving a quiet flag that sodium is adding to the strain. If you felt this, type salt in the comments. The swap is simpler than you might think. Instead of relying on salt, try flavoring meals with lemon, garlic, or herbs like rosemary and basil. They brighten taste without flooding your body with sodium. And here's a backup option. If you rely on canned beans or vegetables, look for low-sodium labels and rinse them under water before cooking. It can cut sodium nearly in half. 2 stories bring this to life. Susan, 70, loved canned soups for lunch. But after switching to homemade veggie soup with herbs, she noticed her ankles stopped swelling and her leg pain eased. Tom, 72, on the other hand, leaned on frozen dinners. Over time, his swelling worsened until even short walks became painful. The emotional truth is this. Salt may make food taste alive, but it quietly makes your legs feel heavy and sore. Your action step. Aim to keep sodium below 1,500 milligrams per day. That means cutting back on processed foods and watching labels closely. Pause for a moment. In simple terms, sodium pulls in water. More sodium means more swelling. Less sodium means lighter steps. You've now made it 2/3 of the way through our countdown. That's your progress marker. And here's your midpoint reframe. Leg pain isn't just bad luck or aging. It's shaped by daily choices. When you lower sugar and cut back salt, you're not only reducing pain, you're protecting circulation, reducing inflammation, and giving your legs a stronger future. Now, let's move to number 1 on our list. The food habit most damaging of all, fried and trans fat foods. These aren't just painful, they're dangerous for circulation and joint health if ignored. And finally, number 1 on our countdown, fried and trans fat foods. Crispy chicken, French fries, fried pies. They smell comforting and taste irresistible. But for senior legs, they're silent saboteurs. Fried foods and trans fats don't just add calories. They stir up inflammation and damage circulation, the two forces that make leg pain worse. Here's why. When oil is heated again and again, like in deep fryers, it forms compounds that stress blood vessels and stiffen joints. Trans fats, often hidden in packaged fried snacks or margarine, raise inflammation markers in the body. Instead of nourishing muscles, they inflame them, making every step heavier. Science is clear. In 2022, researchers showed that diets high in fried foods sharply increase inflammation in older adults. And in 2023, a large study linked trans fat intake with a higher risk of arthritis and circulation problems. Seniors eating fried foods twice a week were 35% more likely to report leg pain compared with those who ate them rarely. Think of fried food like pouring sludge into your veins. Circulation slows, pressure builds, and the legs ache from within. Have you ever felt your legs sore or stiff after a fast food meal? That isn't just too much salt. It's inflammation from fried fats weighing down your muscles. If you've noticed this, type fried in the comments. The swap doesn't mean giving up flavor. Baking or grilling chicken instead of frying or roasting vegetables in olive oil brings the crunch and taste without the pain. And here's a backup option. Use an air fryer. It creates crisp texture with a fraction of the oil, cutting back on harmful fats while keeping meals enjoyable. 2 stories illustrate the point. Helen, 67, loved fried chicken twice a week. Her doctor suggested switching to oven-baked chicken with herbs. Within months, her ankle swelling decreased and her leg pain faded. Robert, 71, couldn't let go of fast food. Burgers and fries stayed on his menu. Over time, his pain worsened, and walking even short distances became exhausting. The emotional truth is this. Fried food comforts for minutes, but leaves your legs hurting for hours. Your action step. Replace fried meals with baked or grilled alternatives at least twice a week. Use olive oil for cooking and save fried treats for rare occasions. Pause for a moment. In simple terms, fried foods fuel inflammation. Less fried food means lighter steps, calmer joints, and stronger legs. That completes our countdown of the 3 hidden foods making senior leg pain worse. Sugar, salty processed foods, and fried trans fat meals. But before you start making swaps, it's important to recognize the quiet warning signs your body may already be sending. The signals that tell you when leg pain is more than just food. Now that we've counted down the 3 hidden foods making senior leg pain worse, it's time to talk about the quiet warning signs your body may already be showing. The early signals are often subtle. Your calves might feel tight after sitting for an hour. Your ankles may look slightly swollen at night. Some people notice a burning sensation in their feet after a heavy meal, or that their shoes feel tighter by evening. These are whispers, your body's first way of saying, something's off. When the whispers get louder, the warnings become harder to ignore. Pain when walking even short distances, tingling or numbness in the feet, or cramps that wake you nightly. These are red flags. And if you ever feel chest pain, sudden dizziness, or shortness of breath along with leg discomfort, that's no longer just a red flag. It's an emergency. In that case, call 911 immediately. Medications can play a role too. Diuretics for blood pressure, statins for cholesterol, or blood thinners may make muscles more prone to pain or cramps. It doesn't mean you should stop them, but it does mean your doctor needs to know what your body is telling you. Think of it this way. Your body whispers first, then it speaks louder, and eventually it shouts. The sooner you listen to the whispers, the less likely you'll ever face the shout. So, how do you turn these insights into daily action? That depends on who you are. In the next part, we'll look at 4 different lifestyle paths and how each can use these swaps in a way that actually sticks. Not every senior lives the same way. That's why calming leg pain from food isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. It depends on your lifestyle and how you can weave safer swaps into your daily routine. First is the simple eater. This person doesn't want complicated diets or strict rules. For them, the key is easy swaps. Replacing a sugary dessert with a bowl of berries, choosing grilled chicken over fried, or skipping the extra shake of salt at dinner. Small steps, but each one takes fuel away from inflammation. Next is a planner. This person thrives on structure. They keep a shopping list, track sodium with an app, and prep meals ahead. For them, building a weekly plan that limits processed foods and adds colorful produce keeps leg pain under control. Their calendar isn't just a schedule. It's a shield for their health. Then we have the supplement user. They already take vitamins or omega-3 capsules, so they're open to health tweaks. For them, the solution is pairing supplements with smarter food choices, swapping soda for water, or choosing olive oil instead of margarine. Supplements support the body, but real change comes from what's on the plate. Finally, the social cook. This person loves food as a way to connect. They join friends for potlucks or cook family dinners. For them, making group meals healthier, using herbs instead of heavy salt, roasting instead of frying, becomes a gift not just for themselves, but for everyone at the table. The truth is, each path can work. What matters is finding the one that fits your lifestyle and sticking with it. So, which path sounds most like you? The simple eater, the planner, the supplement user, or the social cook? Share your answer in the comments below. Let's bring everything together. We've counted down the 3 hidden foods that quietly make senior leg pain worse. Number 3 was sugary foods and drinks. Fuel for inflammation that stiffens muscles and irritates blood vessels. Number 2 was salty and processed foods. Sneaky sources of sodium that swell ankles and weigh down circulation. And number 1 was fried and trans fat foods. Come from the moment, but long-term pain for joints and muscles. The message is simple. Leg pain is not just an inevitable part of aging. It's shaped by what you put on your plate. By making small swaps, fruit instead of soda, herbs instead of salt, baked meals instead of fried, you can reduce inflammation, calm your legs, and take back lighter, freer steps. Here's empowering truth. Your body still listens to you. Even one change tonight, a different snack, a smarter meal choice, can lead to less pain tomorrow. If this video made you think of someone, a friend who loves fried foods, or a spouse who adds salt at every meal, share this with them. A simple reminder could give them more comfortable days and restful nights. And before we finish, here's what's next. In our next video, we'll look at 5 everyday drinks that quietly hurt senior joints, and what to sip instead for stronger bones and calmer muscles. Don't miss it. Congratulations, you've completed the full countdown. Before we finish, I want to keep you safe. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The tips we've covered, reducing sugar, cutting back on salty processed foods, and limiting fried or trans fat meals, are not cures. They are supportive habits that may reduce discomfort and promote healthier circulation, but they are not a replacement for medical care. Too much of even a healthy change and backfire. Overdoing supplements, swinging suddenly to an extreme diet, or cutting salt completely can cause new issues. Balance, not extremes, is always the key. If you take medications, like diuretics for blood pressure, statin for cholesterol, or blood thinners, be aware that diet changes can affect how these drugs work. Never stop or change your prescriptions without talking to your healthcare provider. And most importantly, recognize urgent warning signs. If you ever feel chest pain, sudden dizziness, shortness of breath, fainting, or severe leg pain that comes on suddenly, call 911 immediately. Use the information here as a gentle guide. Pair it with the advice of your doctor or healthcare team. Your health and safety always come first.